Hey guys, and welcome back. So today, amazingly, I'm sitting down to film the third trimester pregnancy diary. I can't believe that I am almost at the end of this pregnancy. It has flown by, and I know loads of people probably say that, and I know that when she's here the first few months will fly by, years will fly by, but this is crazy. It does feel like I was literally just sitting down at Christmas with Ingmar announcing that we're pregnant. And I'm now, what am I, 38 weeks today as I film this. It's just crazy. I've got a list on my phone here, so I'm going to refer to that because we all know baby brain, there's no way I'm going to remember everything. But I really want to do this before it's too late and she's here. So let's get started. So first off, again, a massive thank you for all of the support and comments and all the love that you've been sending, and the parcels that people have been sending us as well. You honestly don't need to be gifting us anything. We really appreciate the things that people have been making and sending, and I will try to include that in vlogs as and when we're using it. This girl is spoilt. She has an incredible wardrobe already and a huge collection of shoes. It's quite impressive. So I'm going to start off with the highlight of the pregnancy for me, which is the kicking. I think when... I'll turn this on silent because I think Ingmar's going to message throughout as he's just on his way home. It's such a special feeling to have not only this baby growing inside you, but to have that connection with her before you can meet her. And I feel really bad that Ingmar doesn't really get to feel that and connect with her. It is something that's just so precious and so special that you already have that bond. And although it is getting a little bit uncomfortable and there's not really much room in there anymore, a knee poking out or a foot kicking your ribs or a bum wiggling around inside of you, or even feeling the head twisting and kind of pressing against your bladder. But it's such an amazing feeling, and it's so hard to describe to people. I already feel a little bit kind of emotional at the fact that she'll be here, she won't be in my tummy anymore, and I won't feel those kicks. I'm gonna miss them. Isn't that weird? Obviously I'll have a baby, but I'll miss the kicks. So the third trimester, I've been tired, I have had indigestion, I've had a little bit of constipation, I have also had hemorrhoids. Now, definitely not a pleasant symptom of pregnancy. Well, I mean, a lot of people suffer from them, and I feel your pain. The good thing is that, or if this is even a good thing, I know this is TMI, but come on, we're talking pregnancy here. What can be TMI when you give birth? Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, the good thing is that if you are watching this and you're suffering from them with pregnancy right now, you do get used to them so they don't feel as uncomfortable. I won't go on too much about this, but yeah, that's definitely been an uncomfortable one. Kicking on my bladder, well, that kind of at the start of this trimester, but then obviously she turned, and so her head is now kind of knocking or pressing against or twisting against my bladder, and it makes you need to go right then and there. Pregnancy glow, that's an interesting one. A lot of people keep saying to me that I look amazing, and obviously I'm very grateful for those compliments, but it is funny when people say you clearly have the pregnancy glow when actually you just feel exhausted and you feel like a zombie. So at least you look pretty good, even though you feel knackered. At the start of the pregnancy, I thought it would be really nice to do like a kind of lookbook of cute bump outfits and things like that. But in reality, I wear basically a rotation of 2 pairs of maternity leggings and 2 pairs of maternity jeans and about 4 tops. Most of the time, I'm wearing Ingmar's clothes though, because they're just bigger and more comfortable. I have had some hip problems this, well, I think it's kind of eased up right now actually, but the last couple of months have been pretty bad. So my left hip when I walked was sore, and my right hip when I was lying down was sore. So it was kind of figure out which one you could live with being more uncomfortable. But everything's just kind of loosening up and preparing for the birth, and so it's actually getting much better right now. But there were points where it was cramping so much that I couldn't even stand or walk. About halfway through this trimester, I kind of got to a point where I was just feeling really run down. It was a mixture of things going on and just being tired, and I got to a stage where I wasn't necessarily ill or really anything wrong with me. I was just feeling a bit run down. And I kind of got to a point where I was getting cold sores because of it, which is a way of my body basically telling me to slow down. And I think that's probably one of the biggest lessons that I've had to learn through this pregnancy, is that you cannot be a workaholic and you cannot juggle a million things, which is kind of what I was still trying to do somehow. I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to keep going and chase up things and run projects and get orders out and get videos up and everything, whatever. And so yeah, my body took over and just taught me a lesson that I needed to slow down and I needed to stop and just kind of lie on the sofa and watch TV some nights, and maybe even have days where I just didn't really do much. Getting a load of washing on was an achievement, and I'm aware that there are many people out there who are pregnant and have children already, and that must be so challenging. Or single parents, I'm not quite sure how you do it. I have Ingemar, who is amazing. He's an amazing support and does an awful lot around the house, and is currently out doing our vid shopping because I've just sent him a list of things. So, you know, he's helping out wherever he can, and so it means that my life is a little bit easier. I don't have to kind of do all of the house stuff as well. Still no cravings, which has kind of disappointed me. I thought it would be quite interesting to find out what weird cravings I was going to have, but there's been nothing. The only thing I'm really craving is salads, which is basically just me eating healthy, which is great that that's what I want instead of junk food. Obviously I still do want some junk food. I have listed chocolate on the shopping list, and ice cream, but then I'm in Iceland, everyone lives on ice cream here, so yeah. But yes, I've been eating pretty healthy, so I'm very lucky for that, very grateful that that's the way, and hopefully that will continue when she's here as well. Indigestion, yep, Rennies everywhere. I literally have, I think, 2 packets in this room, there's a packet in the hallway, there's 2 packets in the kitchen, there's one in my handbag, one in the car, one on the bedside table. Where else? There's one in Ingemar's coat pocket. They're everywhere because you just need Rennies, you need your indigestion tablets all the time. The next point that I've put down is what people say. This is quite an interesting one to me, and something that I've fallen into the trap of before. When people see you as a pregnant woman with a bump, whether it is big, small, round, oval, high, low, showing at the back, whatever, there's so many people that have an opinion, and they feel the need to share that opinion with you, even if you've never met them and they're a complete stranger. It's very strange that people feel like they can comment on your bump, the shape or size or whatever, and have an opinion on it, and also feel it. It doesn't really bother me that people do that, but I know that for some people that is quite strange. I was listening to a podcast, the Happy Mum, Happy Baby podcast, and it was Davina McCall. I think she has 3 children. She's had 3 great birthing experiences, and she was saying that because there's so many horror stories out there, when she sees a pregnant person, she wants to just sit down with them and, you know, say, you look amazing, your bump looks perfect, and tell that pregnant person her positive birthing experiences, which might freak some people out, but I think it would be pretty cool if Davina McCall came and talked to me about giving birth and told me my bump was perfect. But I have also done this. I've seen my sister pregnant and said something along the lines of, you look big, or I can't even remember, but something that I shouldn't have said. And I feel bad for saying that because now I understand what it's like to hear that kind of comment. But actually, when you're used to seeing someone not pregnant and then you see them with a bump, then it is quite kind of shocking because you're like, wow, that is quite a big bump. And you don't mean it in an offensive way. I totally get that. It's not that people have said big to me, but when they say small, you also worry about, why am I not as big as other people this week? So there's kind of not a right answer to any of this, but if you're looking to say anything to someone who has a bump, just say that their bump is perfect. That's it, and move on. Okay, another interesting thing about pregnancy is that you have some very weird dreams, and they're quite vivid dreams as well. I did write a few of them down. I don't really want to share them on the internet because you could probably read into them and figure out some weird things I'm worrying about or whatever, but they are super weird. And they are connected to things that have happened throughout the day or whatever, but they're very, very strange. They're quite entertaining as well. But yeah, that's something to kind of discuss with your partner and have a laugh about. Waking up super early, super hungry, and then after having my breakfast, I usually have a nap. That's kind of become a bit of a routine for me. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure. Although unfortunately sometimes waking up super early means 4 o'clock in the morning, which in Iceland it is not dark throughout the summer. We have 24-hour daylight, and so waking up at 4 in the morning is just like waking up at 8 o'clock. I have my breakfast, I make my porridge, I try and not wake Ingmar, and then I usually go back to bed and he gets up and goes for work. Still loving my Aquafit, so today I went to Aquafit and they were actually filming a documentary on birth in Iceland, so Bump and I were featured in that. But yeah, loving the Aquafit. I think it's probably the best way of exercising when you're heavily pregnant towards the end, and it's kind of uncomfortable and it's heavy and you don't really want to be jumping around too much, but you've got the support of the water to take away the weight of your bump. And also the hot tub after is just amazing. I've written a note here, everything falls on the floor. It's so true, literally everything that you pick up when you're pregnant falls on the floor. It's crazy. That's what it feels like anyway. When Ingmar is out, if stuff falls on the floor, I either decide if it's worth trying to reach over or bend down and get it, or I'll just leave it for him to come home to. I had to take off my wedding ring, so I have my engagement ring on at the moment. The wedding ring is slightly smaller and my fingers were kind of swelling up, kind of mid third trimester. They're not too bad at the moment. They haven't actually got any bigger. My feet haven't swollen either. I'm definitely a tidy freak. And so nesting was something that I was definitely looking forward to, for sure. So we've kind of gone from room to room throughout the apartment and sorted everything. Have now decorated the nursery, so that's almost finished. But the one room that we pretty much focused all of our attention on recently is the kitchen. So tonight we have the delivery of a fridge freezer, like one of these huge ones, the kind of joint ones with the ice option water thing at the front, all the stuff we don't need. And we have a dishwasher coming. I've never had a dishwasher in my life before. We have changed over officially from the standard midwife that you get at your doctor's surgery to a private healthcare birthing clinic. So it's called Bjorken. I will also link this down in the description bar below. If you are in Iceland, if you're in Reykjavik, I highly recommend that you go and meet with the Bjorken midwives. The hospital bags, they are all packed. One for me with baby stuff in it, and also one for Ingmar so that he has a change of clothes and some stuff to entertain him if I happen to manage to have a rest. I have no idea how it's gonna go, so I have watched a lot of videos and read a lot of blog posts and figured out what to pack from that. I will try to film a what's in our hospital bag video before it all happens, but we will see if that works out. I wrote a birth plan I decided just to go ahead and write it on my own, and I gave it to Ingmar and explained it all to him. I think this is probably just the best way for us to work. It was for me to just do it and give it to him, and he was very grateful. He understands what it's all about. He knows, you know, we both agree on a lot of the different steps of it, but I've also just written things in there for him to say, or reminders of things to try out, like different positions or hot and cold packs and massage techniques or whatever. I've got a couple of links there to breathing exercises, so he can pull that up on his phone. But yeah, it's basically just more of a list of things to remember and to suggest. We'll just have to see how it goes. There's so many unknowns about all of this. We were very lucky in that we actually did a pregnancy photo shoot as well, which is not something I would have opted to do unless someone had contacted me to say they would like to do it. So Ingmar and I met up with a photographer who was a friend of mine on Instagram, and we went to the Blue Lagoon, the park beside it, which is a really special place to us because it's where we had our first date. And we did a photo shoot with Bump, so that was really cool. We have some beautiful pictures. I'm trying to put together a video, so I'm not sure if that'll go up before this one or after it, but the pictures will be on the blog and also on Instagram, so make sure that you have a nosy at them because they are amazing, they're beautiful. The next thing is spending time together, so I'm trying to kind of find a happy medium of having time apart on our own and doing our own thing and just enjoying the peace and quiet before life changes forever, and having time together, having really important quality time where we can discuss being pregnant and expecting and getting excited about it, and also just things that we still need to do before baby arrives. I've just had my mum over for a week and we did a whole load of different things to the nursery. So we painted the walls, Ingmar painted the walls I should say, filled a lot of the holes that were in them, painted the ceiling. We did the window frame as well. My mum is amazing with craft projects and did the curtains, which look amazing. She also made a kind of wall hanging for the nursery. I went through all of the clothes and organised them into sizes, got them into storage system within the wardrobe, sorted out the outfits for her coming home in. What else did we do? We got the cradle ready in our bedroom. We got the change table ready, and yeah, a few other bits and bobs. We had a very busy week though. But she was a massive help, so thank you Mum, Gran Rosa. The next thing is labour. So I've written down, go with the flow. That is basically the attitude that I'm going into this with. Although I have a birth plan, it's not really a set kind of plan of what I want to happen. I am getting a bit nervous about labour because I have no idea what it's going to be like, how long it's going to be, how painful it's going to be, and what postpartum will be like. I am also getting excited about it though, but I think, yeah, it's because there's so many unknowns, you have to just try and kind of keep an open mind and just go into this as relaxed as you possibly can. But I figure life is full of experiences, and I am definitely someone who loves to collect lots of experiences. I'm not scared of a challenge, I'm not scared of the unknown. The labour is fast approaching. Who knows when it will happen? But I figure my baby will come when my baby is ready to come, and she'll, you know, 100% she will be delivered. So however that happens is however it will happen. I figure this is the most natural thing, and our bodies are designed to do this. So you just have to stay as relaxed as you can. And I'm trying to go into this with an open mind and just ready for whatever comes along. I don't know what it'll be like. I figure that this might sound a bit crazy, but I used to live in India and I would go past slums every single day, and there are women there who were pregnant, probably gave birth somewhere in that slum, and if they can do it, then I can do it. I know that's maybe not a great comparison, but you know, there's no point in overthinking this and over worrying about it. I do that when I'm tired, But I'm just going to try and stay as relaxed as possible, get those oxytocin levels up, and yeah, just, you know, just be excited to meet her. She's gonna be here in just a couple of weeks' time, or less. I'll be a mum in a few weeks. Okay, I've put a note about postpartum. Now, postpartum is kind of the one area that makes me maybe the most nervous. Hopefully it will be okay and I will just manage to heal and take the time, and I'm not going to rush anything. I have an incredible family who will fly over here and will visit us, and Ingmar has a great family and set of friends here who will also support us. Now, I don't think of myself as old. It's very strange to say this. I am, however, an older mum in the midwife's opinion. Or not our Bjorken one, because she's lovely. It is quite strange to think I could be doing this 10, 15, 20 years ago. I had not found my ideal man. That's one of the biggest things here, isn't it? But I also had my career. I traveled the world. I've had all these amazing experiences and opportunities that came along that I jumped on. And so I feel so incredibly lucky that I had all of that, and I'm still going to be able to actually have a family as well, because not everyone gets all of that, and I am very lucky that I've managed these things in my life so far. And with that, I think that we're at the end of the list. Yeah, the end of these pregnancy diary updates for you all. This is crazy, isn't it? She's going to be here in a couple of weeks. She might actually be sitting watching this video at some point in the future, maybe with me, which is just an amazing thought, that she's going to get to actually see all of these things and kind of see what how her mum felt throughout pregnancy. I was going to end with showing you bump. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think I'll film it, and then if I don't feel too weird and embarrassed about putting my tummy on the internet, then I will include it here. Okay, so I'm going to show you bump. Get ready for the big yellow tummy. So here we go. And I've got my big stretchy jeans on. I'll just tuck this up and then pull this down a bit for you to see. My belly button has not popped out yet. I do have a few stretch marks, but not too bad. But yes, she is fully engaged. Feet are up here, bum is kind of here in the back, down to her shoulders, and her head is right down, so she's pretty much ready. And there you go. So you can kind of see maybe like a knee or something there. Not entirely sure, but something bashing away. Yep. This is very strange to show my tummy on the internet. And there we go. I'll just keep her nice and cozy back up in here. So that's everything for this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you've been enjoying these videos, these kind of pregnancy diaries. If you have any questions or comments, then pop them down in the comments below. Make sure that you click on the description bar for any of the links that you're looking for. And I guess I'll just see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye! I know this sounds really weird because we all know that the female carries the child, but I do feel very privileged that it is that way, so that I am the one that gets to feel the kicks and has the bump that grows and gets to protect this child and nurture it and grow it and look after it. And it is, I don't know, it's just, you kind of take all these things for granted before it actually happens to you. There's an awful lot about pregnancy that you just kind of assume, but actually when it is happening to you and you're experiencing it, it is amazing. It really is quite fascinating, and it's really hard to talk about these things until you're kind of going through them yourself, and you can talk about them with someone who is going through them as well. I probably sound like I'm wittering on, I don't know. But basically what I want to say is that growing a child inside of you is an incredible experience, and one that I feel so lucky to be able to do. And it makes me feel a bit sad if this is maybe our only pregnancy. I don't know what the future has on offer for us, but you know, I want to enjoy this and not take it for granted. And yeah, that's kind of why I want to record these videos and share them with you guys as well. The thought of being able to kind of go out and just, you know, run errands throughout the day, and I'm not on my own doing it, even though I am because she's not born yet, but I feel already so connected to her that we're going out to do things together. So it's really nice to kind of have my little girl with me, even though we've not actually met yet.